What's up, guys? TwoTenEast here. Let's skip the intro and get right to these last two episodes. Okay, so we start right where we left off from last time. Yushin remembers seeing Mr. So before at the pool when Pyoung hid from him, and he makes that connection in his head. So, like I thought, nothing really crazy happens here. Pyoung's like, hey, what's good? This is our engineer. How are you guys? Hey, Ami, you want some coffee? Here you go. Where are your seats? Oh, cool. Well, enjoy. Bye. And she just completely controls the whole interaction. And Ami just seems happy to be there. She's just like a little kid. So Yushin and Ami then walk off and leave, and Pyoung starts talking to Mr. So about Yushin and Ami. This was actually a kind of interesting moment because Mr. So tells Pyoung that, hey, not all men fall for young women. He uses this metaphor about diamonds and pearls and how pearls aren't as flashy as diamonds, but they give off a subtle glow. And this kind of sounds like Si-eun to me. Either way, it's still a nice moment because at least somebody in this show is kind of sticking up for men and fighting this narrative that all men are the same. They also find out that they're sitting next to each other at the show. Oh, what a coincidence. And yeah, of course they are. So everyone sits down for the show, and apparently even Ami is feeling the Mr. So magnetism. And yeah, it's just no surprise. No woman can possibly resist the alphaness, the raw animal magnetism, the sophistication, the swag, the class. Okay. And meanwhile, there's also a sit down going on with Si-eun and Hae-ryun where she confronts him about seeing Yu-ram behind all of their backs in secret. Hae-ryun says a bunch of bullshit or whatever, but it's funny to me that Si-eun says that because of his profession, he knows how to twist his words to his advantage and kind of gives him credit for that. And I really couldn't disagree more. The shit that he says in those other episodes about like trees and seasons and leaves, it's like some college freshman in a creative writing / poetry class. All of that shit he said was so horrible and bad and cringe. It's what? Okay, then we cut to Pyoung and Mr. So, and they're walking out, and he's gonna give her a ride home because she took a cab there. And did they just completely skip over Gabin's actual performance? Fuck yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about, guys. Good job, writers. That's what I like to see, or I guess not see. So as Pyoung is getting into Mr. So's car and leaving, of course, Ami notices in the car with Yushin and points it out to him. And I guess Ami is trying to make sure that Pyoung and Yushin don't get back together. And maybe to her, shipping Pyoung and Mr. So together in front of Yushin is her way of doing that. But Yushin is fucking hating it. He's like, well, they might not be dating. They're just colleagues. Maybe they just saw the musical together as colleagues. And Ami's like, women never go to musicals with guys they're not interested in. I did not know that was a thing. Is this true? Ladies out there? Is this an unwritten rule? You only take guys you're interested in to musicals? That's a thing? Okay, so meanwhile, Pyoung and Mr. So talk more about him being colorless or something and more gems and pearls and stuff, but eventually Mr. So's stomach growls and they end up going out to eat. So they talk more there and it's just a bunch of stuff, but Mr. So tells Pyoung his favorite dish is wheat pancakes because his mom used to make them and he thinks of her when he eats them and she made them really delicious. And Pyoung is like, oh yeah, that's cool. But you can tell she's already thinking, I'm gonna make him some wheat pancakes. And yep, the very next scene, she's up late at like 1 a.m. making some wheat pancakes, practicing for Mr. So, I guess. Even Ji-ah wakes up and comes in the kitchen and is like, Mom, what the fuck are you doing? And I think Pyoung's a little sprung. She's all caught up in the game. And meanwhile, Yushin continues to be haunted by these memories, flashbacks of the great times he had with Pyoung. And yeah, it's really too bad these memories didn't kick in for you when you were cheating, but oh well. Okay, also, Gabin is headed to the airport. She's going back to see her parents. I know, they're dead, but you know what I mean. She's going to say goodbye to them. And Hae-ryun calls and says, damn, sorry I couldn't come. I'll be missing you, da-da-da-da. But then right after that, Dong-ma calls and is like, yo, I'll take you to the airport. Looks like Dong-ma is trying to continue to make these moves. He picks her up, and yeah, I don't know. He was presented as this playboy the entire show, but it seems like he's turned over a new leaf. He definitely seems to genuinely be doing this because he cares and is concerned, so, Okay. So next, Yushin comes over and confronts Piyung about Mr. So. Also, side note, you are never too old to go on heart-fluttering dates. Shut the fuck up, Yushin. Okay, so the new narrative he's trying to spin, I guess, is that Piyung liked Mr. So all along before Yushin cheated and was planning on this the entire time, and that's why she was so adamant about divorcing him, because she couldn't wait to run to another man. This really reminded me of another K-drama I've seen called One Spring Night, where there is a similar commentary on guys not being able to comprehend the fact that women might have reasons for doing things other than a man, like having a man in mind when they make decisions. It's like he can't comprehend that the reason Piyung wanted to divorce him so bad is because she felt betrayed because he cheated on her. Instead, the narrative is that, oh, the only reason that she would leave one man is to go to another man. And I just find it so ridiculous and stupid. Of course, Piyung strikes back really quick, and it's quickly turning into a fight, and I can't believe Yushin is really trying to run with this. You can understand people get like this when they're jealous and realize they've made a big fucking mistake. He knows Piyung was the best wife he's ever gonna have, and he's pissed now he sees her with someone else. So he's doing his best to get back at her, but it's just not his business anymore. And Piyung, rightfully so, tells him, I don't have to explain myself to you. And when he mentions the whole I'm gonna take care of Ji-ah stuff, Piyung just slaps him, and yeah, he definitely had that coming. So they keep going at it, but finally Piyung's had enough and just gets up and tells him to get the fuck out. And it's here where Yushin just sinks to a whole new level. Piyung gets ready to go out and she's about to head out the door, but then he still wants to like talk to her. And when she says she's not interested, he grabs her by the arm multiple times and holds her. And he's definitely cracking. His classy facade is crumbling and he's just not getting his way and he can't deal with it. He demands Piyung tell him if she's going to date Mr. So, and it's just the classic jealous ex-boyfriend, husband, whatever trope. And she doesn't have to tell you, dude. Get your fucking hands off of her. And Piyung is just getting him right back with these daggers, and he's like, enough, enough, enough. And he's yelling and raising his voice, and that android face actually almost makes a real human expression. I had to like pinpoint and try a couple times to get this screenshot with his face being kind of mad and angry. I guess that's his angry face. So then Piyung actually starts answering Yushin's questions, which I wasn't really a fan of. Like, you don't need to tell him anything, just kick him out or call the cops. So they keep talking and Yushin goes on this whole spiel about how we can't be selfishly doing our own thing and neglect Ji-ah. And I don't even feel like reacting to this stuff anymore. It's just the same disbelief and disgust. Yes, that's true, but we don't want to hear it from you, Yushin. So Piyung finally gets away after answering more of his questions, and even explaining her being with Mr. So alone was a mistake because Si-yoon didn't show up. And finally Yushin's like, oh, shit. My bad, yo. Great. Wow, thanks for wasting all of our time. Okay, real quick, Dongma drops Ga-bin off at the airport, and he's still trying to be all caring and supportive, but she just doesn't seem to notice that much. She's obviously caught up with these feelings of grief for her parents, and at least Dongma isn't trying anything like over the top. He's not trying to really hit on her. He's just like, hey, travel safe, call me. And I didn't really pin Dongma as a where's my hug guy, but apparently he is. Okay, then we get a somewhat interesting crossover. Ami is at Songwon's place when Sahyun's parents come by, and wow, these are some of the most annoying characters all together in one scene. It's like the Avengers of annoying characters in Love featuring Marriage and Divorce. We just need Sahyun here to complete it all. So they all sit down and talk, and they're all chummy. And in this scene, Ami does tell the parents that they are a group of 3 friends. So we're seeing, again, bit by bit in random scenes and crossovers, other characters are finding out about the mistresses all knowing each other. I'm not sure if this is going to ever amount to anything, but especially in this case of Sahyun's parents, I doubt they would even care that much, even if they put all the pieces together and found the connections. But yeah, it's something to keep an eye on, I guess, even though there's only 1 episode left of this season. Oh, also the dog formerly known as Dongmi is looking at the camera and all of us and is like, get me the fuck out of here right now, please. Blink twice if you need us to come get you, Dongmi. We'll be right there. Okay, then we get some more classic Dongmi, Ami talk talk time, and yeah, Dongmi just keeps trying to shake Mi's resolve, and it just keeps not working. They do talk about farting, though, so nice little bonus there. Some other kind of interesting news, Sahyun, it turns out, isn't fired. In fact, it's pretty much the opposite. He's been getting tons of cases because everyone who read the news wants him to take on their divorce cases, since even though he was made out to look like a cheater in Hye-ryung's press conference, he also was described as getting the long end of the stick in her version of events. So now everyone wants his advice on how to win their divorce cases. Okay, then we get yet another ghost scene, but in this case, it actually is kind of interesting because something kind of new happens. Dr. Shin appears in the hallway of Yushin's hospital, and his ghostly, faded look, like his ghostly aura, seems to be completely gone, and he just looks like a normal, living person. He passes by a nurse in the hallway, and yeah, does that. But then he sees Yushin coming out the door and is able to shift back into his ghost mode. I guess so Yushin doesn't see him. Does this mean the nurse could have seen him? It seems like Dr. Shin may have ascended and mastered a new ghostly ability. He's achieved corporeal manifestation jutsu or something. Okay, then we see Dong Ma, and it looks like he's planning to fly out to Spain to go see Ga Bin. Wow, this guy is really all in on Ga Bin. I'm really not sure where this came from all of a sudden. I guess maybe his talks with Mr. So, all those other episodes, maybe we're supposed to assume that that changed his mind and made him mature. But yeah, good luck, dude. Okay, then it's time for a meeting of the wives. Mr. So is taking them out for a team dinner soon, and they are talking about that and also some other things. So it's here that we get to see what we got a hint of in last week's preview. Hye-ryung asks Pee-young and Si-yeon to make an excuse and leave early at their team dinner. She then admits that she has a thing for Mr. So and says, yeah, I realize younger men aren't that great, older guys is where it's at. By the way, the reactions of Si-yeon and Pee-young when Hye-ryung tells them about her Mr. So intentions are priceless. Look, I love this because it's more drama, more spice, but I also hate this because the wives, I feel like they should stick together. I want them to stick together and be friends. I don't want them bickering over a man. That would be so lame. So during Hye-ryung's speech about why Mr. So is awesome and why she likes him and wants to pursue him, she does conveniently leave out the fact that he's rich and is the eldest son of that electronics company. Something we know for a fact she's been thinking about a lot in her own head. And she asks Si-yeon and Pee-young, you guys are gonna help me, right? And Pee-young's like, yeah, sure, of course. And oh my god, Pee-young's expressions this entire time are priceless. And after this, the mirror scene that we saw in the preview where Pee-young says, oh, you're gonna beat me to it? Yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't a fantasy. Like I said, this is without a doubt interesting, but at the same time, I just don't really like the direction that this is leading to. I mean, I guess I have to give Si-yeon credit. She hasn't shown any outward interest in Mr. So, but we have to assume she at least is kind of into him, or at least thinks highly of him. And, yeah, this is just getting worse. After this scene, Pee-young is talking with Si-yeon. I guess the kids are having a play date, and they're talking, and Pee-young is clearly throwing subtle shade at Hye-ryung, and it's not good. And Si-yeon's like, haha, yeah, sure, and Pee-young is just making it so obvious that she's salty about Hye-ryung going after Mr. So. After this scene, Pee-young tells Ji-ah, hey, I think I'm gonna start swimming a lot more, every day maybe, and yeah, no one wonders why, that's for sure. So meanwhile, Yushin is doing exactly what Dong-mi said to Ami he would do, which is lying to Ami about where he's going, and it seems like he's doing that so he can maybe run into Pee-young. Maybe it's just because he wants to get away and be by himself, because he does have that fantasy of Dong-mi and Ami wanting to come with him, and he clearly doesn't want that to happen. But yeah, either way, he's already starting to lie about where he's going to Ami and avoiding her. Speaking of pool plans, Pee-young's works out pretty well. She runs into Mr. So like she hoped. Ji-ah and him talk and get along, and she's just standing there smiling like everything is going according to plan. Okay, Okay, so back to Ami and Dongmi, and they are going at it again. Ami starts it by trolling Dongmi again with the supplements, telling her she's old and her bones need supplements and they're fucked up and she can't walk right anymore, all in front of Yushin. And later when they eat alone, Dongmi checks Ami about her doing that shit, and Ami doesn't lay down. She talks right back to Dongmi. These two just seem like they were meant for each other. Seriously, they both arm themselves with soup and make to throw it at each other, and then we cut back to the pool. So Yushin arrives at the pool and he sees Ji-ah and he's happy, and then he sees P-young and Mr. So sitting together and he gets pissed. And oh no guys, watch out, he might be gearing up to try to make an expression again. Don't worry Yushin, you'll be a real boy someday. And he has a fantasy of going over there and punching Mr. So right in the face, but of course he doesn't actually do it because he's bitch made. He's soft like Charmin, and he just can't handle it, so he just leaves. Later on, he stalks them and glares at them in the parking lot, and wow, this is not gonna end well. The thing is with Yushin, he doesn't understand that it already has ended. Go be with Ami, dude, or Dongmi. Take your pick. You got them both. Back at the house. Sure, they might end up killing each other, but that's what you picked. You picked that over P-young. But he still keeps stalking P-young, and he sees them all go out to eat with Mr. So. Is Ji-ah low-key flirting with Mr. So? A little bit? Okay, Ji-ah, do you? Okay. Okay, so then Yushin, after watching them for a while, gets out of his car, and oh, here comes the big tough guy. Oh, here he comes. And he goes into the restaurant, and then he looks at them, and they're all having a blast, and he just stares at them, and then the hostess comes, and she's like, how many are you going to be eating with? And he just walks away. Oh, by the way, also, this, just so you know, it's still happening. I'm just skipping it. Okay, back to Ami, and okay, she's crying to Yushin about Dongmi being mad at her, and we know it's all complete bullshit, and she's just pretending. And Yushin, after a long day of stalking his wife, as you do, comes home to this, and he's gotta be having some regrets by now. I mean, damn, look at that face. He's looking at Ami like, this is who I picked over P-young? What the fuck was I thinking? He's literally looking at her like he just got hit with post-nut clarity. Alright, so then Dongmi shows up and it just gets worse or better depending on your viewpoint from there. So Dongmi shows that her molar is loose and claims Ami hit her, and also shows her bruised wrists, which I guess Ami grabbed while they were fighting. They start bickering and fighting again in front of Yushin, and he just looks like he wants to climb in a hole somewhere and bury himself and just lay there forever. And he's just sitting there while Dongmi and Ami roast each other. Dongmi calls Ami a scary thing that he brought into the house. Ami says she's never read about a mother-in-law as heinous as Dongmi, and they both have good points. Gotta admit, solid points. And the worst part is that Yushin isn't thinking about either of these two. He couldn't care less, and Dongmi is doing nothing here but raising a fine successor to her throne. Will Ami become the new Dongmi to Ji-ah eventually? The evil stepmom? So then Dongmi even tries going to P-young for help, but P-young just can't be bothered. She's in Mr. So land. She advises Dongmi to just go home and ignore them. And Dongmi looks like she really might have lost this war with Ami, guys. Might be time to wave the white flag, Dongmi. Okay, so then we're almost at the end of the episode. Dongma and Gabin are together. He picked her up from the airport. She's back in Korea. She thanks him for coming to Spain and helping her say goodbye to her parents. And hey, everything that happened between us in the past, it's all good. And so then he pulls over to a rest stop. He stops the car, and there's just this moment of silence, and then out of nowhere he asks her to marry him. Okay then. And she looks at him, and it's all dramatic, like, oh no, what's gonna happen? And then the episode is over. And based on all these other episodes, these other previews where they try to make a last scene look dramatic, I mean, sometimes they have actually ended up being dramatic, but this just seems like another case where the next episode is gonna start and she's gonna be like, nah, sorry, I can't, I'm with Haeryun. I appreciate it, but it's too late. I could be wrong. Maybe she's gonna choose Dongma over Haeryun, and I'll be happy with that, so either way. Okay, that's it for episode 15. This was a pretty chill episode. Not much happened, which is making me think more and more there's gonna be a season 3. I'm hoping the final episode in this season, episode 16, will be more explosive, more stuff happening. So with that in mind, let's jump right into episode 16, the last episode of season 2. Okay, the final episode. This is it, where it all comes together. And we're starting with Pee-young having a fantasy of Dong-mi and Ah-mi fighting, and then laughing incredibly unconvincingly. I'm sorry, but I call it like I see it. Pee-young's actor is definitely a great actor. She put on an amazing performance in that episode where she just talks with Yu-shin the whole time. That was really impressive. But this laugh, no. Just no. That was incredibly fake laughing. That sounded awful. Okay, so back to Ga-bin and Dong-ma, where he was asking her to marry him. And yep, I called it. She's just like, nah, bro, I'm all set. I'm Gucci. And wow, Dong-ma really fell off, man. That was like the weakest attempt to win her back ever. He's not right for you. We did have something. Don't deny it. Are you sure you're over it? All in this like monotone, emotionless voice. And then he just turns up his music like, okay, fuck it. Like he's gonna win her over with the song. It was kind of cringe to watch. Okay, then there's a Dong-mi, Ah-mi scene, but I'm sorry guys, I'm over it already. Yep, just a couple episodes was all I could handle and think it was still funny. I know I said it was funny as fuck before, but now I'm just, come on guys, this is the final episode. Let's get going. Let's get to the good stuff. Okay, then Ga-bin apparently feels that her parents came back to Korea with her, followed her there. Oh, please, I hope this doesn't lead to more ghosts in the story. I really hope that's not happening. Okay, so then we cut back to Pee-young's house, and Ji-ah walks into the kitchen and tells her that Yu-shin will be there soon and he's coming to please us. I'm gonna go ahead and give the translators the benefit of the doubt here and just not comment on that. And Pee-young is like, oh my god, are you serious? When is this fucking wax dummy gonna leave me alone already? Oh no, not this pleasing us stuff again. I'm guessing it means maybe more like surprise us or give us a treat. Maybe. Wait, how is that hilarious? That's not hilarious. He didn't even say anything. Wait, okay, hold on. What did he say? Let me see. Eating should come first. Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious. I'm dying here. Yu-shin, you are such a riot. Alright, so they keep talking, blah, 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 and then Yu-shin eventually says that his surprise is he's going to start taking Ji-ah to school every morning. And Pee-young's like, oh, okay, well, can you do that without coming to breakfast? And Ji-ah's like, oh, Mom, you're so crazy. And then Ji-ah also wonders, like, Mom, why aren't you giving him a kiss? You usually give him a kiss in this situation. And Pee-young is like, forced to do it. The serial killer documentary on Netflix at the part where they start talking about what he did to the nice family next door music starts playing, and yeah, Pee-young just has to bite the bullet and do it. So later, Pee-young pulls up to Yu-shin's work, and Ji checks him about what happened earlier and tells him, you can pick up Ji-ah from school, but don't come by for breakfast. And I really hope telling Ji-ah about his infidelity over Yu-shin's head isn't one of the main reasons she's not telling Ji-ah about it. I'm not really in support of that, but it is good insurance to make him do what she wants, I'll admit that. Alright, what's next? Oh, no. Come on, guys. This is the finale. Let's fucking get it in gear. Enough with this shit. Make it stop, please. Oh, fuck. Hye-ryung is showing up, so now I have to cover this scene. Okay, so Hye-ryung comes by and she apologizes for the press conference and says sorry to the mom and the dad and sorry to Song-won for stressing her out. She invites herself to the birth of the baby and the baby shower. I'm not even sure anymore if this is 100% genuine, but it seems like some of it could be. Okay, then Dong-ma shows up at Ga-bin's place. Ga-bin sees him and she's like, this guy. And he persuades her to let him in. And I gotta say, I really didn't like Dong-ma much in this episode. I think my opinion of him dropped even lower than it already was. I really don't like how he just didn't take no for an answer and just told her what was gonna happen and then picks her up and carries her out the apartment when she keeps saying no. And I guess she's actually okay with it since she's not putting up a big fight. All right, so they get in his car and leave, and at this point, if she's gonna get back together with Dongma and forget about Hae-ryun, I'll take it. Meanwhile, Hae-ryun is trying to call Ga-bin, but her phone's off and she's with Dongma, and sorry. So Dongma buys her new clothes and a bag. He didn't even let her get dressed when they left the apartment, so he buys her all this stuff and stunts on her. And she still looks miserable, but she's letting him do it and accepting all of the stuff he's getting. So they have a picnic, and it's so awkward and forced. And Ga-bin looks like she really doesn't want to be there, and I'm watching thinking, then why the fuck did you let him take you there? And he just keeps up his attempt to persuade her to marry him, and it's just so hard to watch. I don't find this cool at all. He tries to tell her, oh, well, I love you, and drops the big L word. And yeah, this just drags on, and he's not really getting anywhere. Okay, then more Ami and Dongmi and Yushin, and yep, still over it. Really, I cannot stand Ami anymore. Holy shit, she is so annoying. So Dongmi does walk away after Ami tells her she has dementia, and she starts talking to herself, and this is a good sign because when Dongmi starts talking to herself like a villain in a Disney movie, it means she's back to her old self and is probably gonna start plotting something to get back at Ami. And now we got, oh my god, can this guy please stop? Everyone and everything is pissing me off in this episode so far. This is not what I wanted from the finale. So Hae-ryun finally sees Ga-bin and comes over to her spot. They go for a walk, and Hae-ryun's just saying all of his normal noble simp stuff. I'll always be by your side, blah, blah, blah. And just like with Dongma, Ga-bin looks like she just doesn't want to be there and isn't feeling it at all. And she's obviously still grieving over her parents, but there's something else going on here. And then she starts talking. She says saying goodbye to her parents made her realize she wants to marry someone she truly loves. Oh my god, is this really happening? Yes, it's happening. She said, I like you, Professor Park. Damn. How are you gonna get friend zoned when you're engaged? That's tough. And it looks like Ga-bin has finally woken up a bit and smelled the milk tea. She didn't ever love this guy. She was just using him as a rebound and found him comforting. And it's about damn time. And I'm waiting to see Hae-ryun's reaction because he was the one saying, like, hey, if you change your mind, I'll be cool with it. Like, whatever happens, happens. And she reminds him of this, that she said this from the start, that he was just a rebound and that he said he was going to be okay with it. She also says, plainly, I can't marry you. And I love Ga-bin for this. She's my new favorite character. Nah, chill, I'm just kidding. But really though, this is great. This episode is finally picking up a little bit for me. She looked at Dongma and said, I don't want you. She looked at Hae-ryun and said, I don't want you. I don't want either of you. And she earns my respect for that, at least. The only mistress so far to really wake up at least a little bit. And yeah, Hae-ryun, how you feeling, bro? You feeling good? You okay, bro? How's all your seasons and trees and magical bullshit now? And that being said, I do have to give Hae-ryun credit here. He takes it exactly like he said he would. He's cool. He takes it on the chin. He says, all right, this sucks, but you do you, boo. And okay, all right. So he takes his bag and leaves Ga-bin, goes to his car, and oh no, is this what we're doing? He starts thinking about Siyun, and no, don't do that. I swear to God, if this is where it's going, if this is going towards them getting back together, whoo, I don't know. I mean, I'm fine with him wanting to get back with her and regretting his choice finally, but if it actually happens for him and they all end up happy, I'm just not sure how I'm gonna be able to deal with that. Okay, meanwhile, Pi-young's computer broke down and she calls Yushin so he can come fix it because the repairman couldn't come at this hour? I really don't like where this is going either. Oh no. Okay, cut back to Hae-ryun. He's parked somewhere and in his car remembering all the shit that Hyung-gi said to him. And it seems like he's finally actually realizing how fucking dumb he is and how much he messed up. Okay, so then Ga-bin calls Dong Ma and tells him she broke up with Hae-ryun and says, hey, this doesn't mean we're getting back together now, but honestly, you're telling this to Dong Ma. We saw how he acted when she literally told him no. And I gotta take back some of the props I gave her for this, but honestly, I don't care as long as Hae-ryun doesn't get his way. They can do their little tango off screen somewhere. Okay, back to Yushin and Pi-young. He stops by, says hi to Pi-young, looks in on Ji-ah. Wait, they're going out to eat now? What the fuck? Oh god. Oh, okay. So they're talking and Pi-young looks kind of okay. She doesn't mind being around him and he gets her this bracelet and she seems like she's feeling it. And I really just don't like this. Does this mean they're gonna get back together? Like, what's going on here? And I was really starting to doubt Pi-young here, but then we see what's really going on. She actually called Ami to come pick up Yushin, and Yushin probably thought he was on track to go back to the crib and make sweet love with Pi-young, but instead he gets a rude awakening because, yeah, Ami just shows up all smiles, and whew, that was a close one, guys, but Pi-young is still on her mastermind shit. She had me really scared there for a second, and Yushin just looks like, fuck. Nice try, man. Nice try. Okay, so then Ga-bin calls up Si-yeon in the middle of the night, says, hey, I'm right outside your apartment, and Si-yeon's like, what the fuck? Why? What's up? And Ga-bin is worried about Hae-ryun. She says she just has a bad feeling. I guess she either hasn't heard from him or is just worried he might be really depressed about them breaking up, and maybe he did something to himself. So Si-yeon gets up and meets her outside, and on the way out, Hyung-gi sees her go, and this is definitely gonna get interesting. So she sees Ga-bin outside, and Ga-bin is a complete wreck. She's talking crazy, saying her parents dying was her fault because she sinned and participated in an affair, and it's all my fault, I'm so sorry. And Si-yeon is good people, so when some random dude appears in the parking lot, she gets Ga-bin inside her car and hides her so she can't be seen and make a spectacle. Oh, also, Hyung-gi comes outside right then as well and sees this happening. So Si-yeon then gets in the car with Ga-bin and they talk, and Ga-bin is still going off. She tells her her parents are buried in a temple and can she go there with her so she can ask for forgiveness in Buddha's presence, and she's just really falling apart, and it looks like it's finally hit her that she did something wrong. I mean, I feel bad for her in this moment because I don't want her to hurt herself, and losing your parents obviously sucks, but at the same time it's like, this is what it took for you to realize that you were doing something wrong? None of the other warning signs or common sense that you're destroying a family got to you? Okay, all right. So then she just starts bawling all out, and they get out of the car and they're just standing there. Si-yeon is holding Ga-bin in her arms like a mom, and Ga-bin is like, why did I turn out like this? This isn't how my mom raised me. Hyung-gi is just standing there like, damn, I finally get to confront the mistress and tell her what I wanted to tell her, and the writers made me wait all this time, and now I'm finally getting my shot, and it's like this. I don't want it like this. And so they both help her up to their place, and man, I never thought we'd be here, and Hyung-gi really probably never thought they'd be here. She's probably thinking, wow, I can't believe I'm helping comfort and console my dad's mistress with my mom, and it's Ga-bin, the celebrity of all people. Ga-bin also tells them in the elevator that she broke up with Hae-ryun because she didn't love him. So they call to check on Hae-ryun, but his phone is off and they can't reach him, and Ga-bin is still going on and crying, and Si-yeon and Hyung-gi are like, dude, really? Okay, so then we see a very happy post-giving birth reception for Song-won, and then a photo shoot with the whole family and the baby, and of course, it's Sa-hyun's fantasy. And there's not much time left in this episode, and we're still getting this shit, so not looking good. All right, and then after that, we're getting another fantasy scene where Mr. So is watching Hae-ryun play drums and smiling, and it was just Hae-ryun imagining it happening. And wow, at this point, they're just burning off all of the cheap clickbait scenes that they used solely for the purpose of the preview. Like, besides being clickbait, these scenes serve no purpose. This is the final episode of the season. This could have been used, this time could have been used for something else. Okay, so then we finally cut to the team dinner, which is finally happening. And for all of you people that love reading into every little detail of the show, we can see at the table that Pi-young Pyung and Hye-ryung are sitting next to each other, and it's Seyun that's actually sitting next to Mr. So. Okay, so then Seyun just starts reciting a poem, and Mr. So looks pretty captivated, guys. And okay, Seyun, let's go. Sell that shit. Let's see that subtle glow of the pearls, baby. Take us there. Take us there. And Mr. So asks Seyun to text the poem to him, and yep, he definitely liked that. Okay, then we quickly cut to Sahyun's parents, and they're chilling and watching golf or something, and then Sahyun bursts through the door with Songwon, who is apparently already having contractions even though it's a week early. Wow, okay. Back to the team dinner, and Hye-ryung is ready to make her move. She tells Mr. So that she plays drums or something, and I have to give Pyung props for doing what she said she was gonna do and helping out Hye-ryung here and playing the dutiful wing woman. And then it's suggested that they all go and watch Hye-ryung play the drums, and Pyung and Seyun, just like they said they would, make their excuses on why they can't go, and Mr. So doesn't care. He just asks about Ji-ah and Yu-ram, and then tells Hye-ryung, oh, we'll just go when everyone can come. Ouch. And Hye-ryung's like, oh, that's cool. Are you fucking kidding me? And really, Pyung, she's over there sipping her tea like, well, you tried. You tried. Okay, so then we cut to a wedding scene, and oh yeah, this is definitely another fantasy. There's Sahyun and Songwon. We get it. They're gonna be happy. They want to be happy. Wait, what? What the fuck? Wait, the bride takes off her veil and it's me? Even if this is a fantasy, it makes no sense. Whose fantasy would this even be? Is this real? Sahyun and me? What? Okay, now Mr. So is pulling up with Songwon? What? What the fuck is going on? Oh god, now what? Okay, Pyung and Dong Ma? Oh Jesus, please let this be a fantasy or something not real. What? If this is a flash forward, then okay, but the couples make no sense whatsoever, like at all. What? Okay, so let's just put all of that aside for now, and we cut to Ji-ah, and there's literally like less than 5 minutes of the episode left. We know from the preview from last time there's going to be some kind of possession scene with Dr. Shin and Ji-ah, so I'm ready for this. Let's see what happens. So Ji-ah shows up to Yu-shin's place, and she's looking very little girl in a horror movie-esque right now. So she meets Yu-shin, and wow. What a way to confirm that she is being possessed by Dr. Shin. She fucking farts. Really? And Yu-shin's like, ha ha ha, wow, that's funny, you farted. So then Dr. Shin, through Ji-ah, starts talking and says, son, let's go golfing. Obviously, Yu-shin doesn't know what's going on, and he's just like, oh, are you imitating your grandpa? Also, Dong-mi shows up at this point, and Dr. Shin turns to Dong-mi and calls out her full name. And then we see the ghost outline image thing flicker, and we can see Dr. Shin's ghost behind overlapping Ji-ah. And wow, this is fucking gold. And yeah, I think Dong-mi finally sees her dead husband's ghost after all this time. And he starts to say through Ji-ah, you're the reason I died, probably, but doesn't get to finish it. And then she charges at Dong-mi with claws ready. And this is probably the funniest thing I've ever seen, and also the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Okay, and then freeze frame, and it says, thank you for watching Love Featuring Marriage and Divorce Season 2. That's it. So this has to mean Season 3, right? I mean, there's no way they end the whole show like this. Also, what the fuck was that fantasy / maybe fast forward in an alternate universe thing? What? So I fast forwarded all through the credits for something else, but nope, that's it. This video is already really long, so I'm just going to give my very, very quick thoughts on how I felt it ended, at least this season ended. Here goes. This, if it is the ending of the show, if there is no Season 3, it's probably the worst and also funniest ending I've ever seen to a show. That wedding scene with all the random couples looks like something they might have shot after they actually shot most of the scenes for Season 2. and just stuck it in at the end. I mean, this must mean there's a season 3. Nothing was tied up. Nothing was given a proper ending and resolved. Forget a good end to a show. It wasn't a good end to a season. It wasn't even a good end to the episode. It really looked like they just had absolutely no ending planned whatsoever, and they just quickly threw something together. I don't even know what a season 3 is going to look like, but I guess it's on the horizon, or it better be. Otherwise, yeah, this was a disaster. But okay, I'm just gonna stop there for now. I need to process this. What did you guys think of this ending to, let's just be nice and say it's definitely the end to the season and that there's going to be another season? What do you guys feel about this ending for the season? How did you feel about that wedding scene? What did you think it was? Was it a joke? Was it the real thing? A flash forward? Was it a fantasy? But whose was it? Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. That's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching these videos and enjoying this show with me every week. I've had so much fun. Everybody in the YouTube comments, everyone on Discord, everyone that's subscribed and watching my videos, you guys are all fucking awesome. For those of you who don't know, we will be picking another show together to watch together and do live streams about, so stay tuned for that. I'll probably do a live stream and ask you guys in the stream what it should be. Anyways, that's it for me for now. This is TwoTenEast, and I'm out.